But there was a moment where I had very similar thoughts to that Padres manager. And I feel like, as you just heard from me there, I am one of the, if you don't want us dancing, stop us from scoring guys from the beginning. I mean, I pimped punts. I mean, because I worked hard at it. So whenever something went good, I celebrated it. Like, and when I was a kid playing soccer, same thing. I mean, it's literally my entire, I have been a big, hey, if you don't want to compete and you don't enjoy winning, like maybe you shouldn't do this. Like, I enjoy this. Like, this is the thing. But there was one particular evening, and a lot of people know of this night because it's the same night that Troy Polamalu decided to go to the complete opposite side of a field goal block to ruin my dreams of scoring a touchdown in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Heinz Field. With the team, the Steelers that I grew up watching, in the same stadium that I won the punt, pass, and kick championship in the same, primetime football, Sunday night football game. In that game, everybody talks about Troy Polamalu being a hole of an ass, which everybody has agreed to. That he's a terrible guy.
Big time.
Terrible guy. Ruins a lot of people's dreams.
Son of a bitch.
Real son of a bitch. One of the greatest football players to ever put on a helmet,
Absolutely.
obviously. But how many dreams does he crush? And that never gets talked about, because what we're talking about right now, if you're not good enough, don't do it. And Troy Polamalu showed me that night. Wasn't mad at him. But what we should reference is, with about 4 minutes left in the game, 4 minutes left in that same game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are up 38-10, 38-10.
Barn burner.
Fourth quarter, 4 minutes and 18 seconds left. We're 4th and 1. 4th and 1. All right, so before this drive here, before we get the ball back here, this game has been a nightmare. Troy Polamalu already ruined my dreams a couple quarters ago, I was supposed to score a touchdown. I was supposed to have a good, I was supposed to have a good time in that end zone. And it was supposed to be just a walk-in. Didn't deserve it. Didn't earn that touchdown at all. Everybody else did it. I just walked in, but I'm going to celebrate it as if I've never been here before, because you know what? I've never been here before. So that moment was taken from me. Then the Steelers do what the Steelers did to the Colts there for a long time, which was just hang 100 points and 100 yards on us. They're up 38-10 in that last drive. And when we get the ball back and we're backed up, I think we're at like the 15 or something, like maybe the 10 where we started. And I was like, I go up to our special teams coach. I'm like, there's no way we're punting, right? And he was like, no, can't punt. Obviously, we're down 38-10, Pat, or whatever. So I go over to Chuck. I'm like, we're not going to punt, right? And Chuck's like, get out of my face, basically, right? Like he's got other stuff going on. He's like, he never gave me an answer. Oh. But every human that I had a conversation with, I was like, there's no way we're punting in this situation. You can't punt on primetime television down 28 in the fourth quarter with 4. So I untie my shoes. So my shoes are untied, all right? Like, loosen them up. I could still go out and hold if I had to. And if we're going to have to kick an onside kick, cool. But we have not moved much that entire game. I did not expect us to be able to do it. So I, have my shoes, loosened up, kind of almost ready to go. And then all of a sudden, it's 4th and 1, and they go punt. And I'm like, we're punting right now? We are punting the ball right now? And I jog out onto the field, and that was our starting punt team there, which I very much appreciate them being in there, to hopefully not get me killed. But returning that punt, 4 minutes left in the game, up 28 points. Danny Smith, whole of an ass special teams coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's a Pittsburgh guy who I have had, probably 20 to 30 encounters with. Mm-hmm. Great guy, by the way.
The man.
Great man. I mean, this guy, he's a Pittsburgh guy. He's electric.
Full of fire.
He chews an entire pack of gum in his mouth at one time. I mean, he is just like the most electric guy on earth. I love this man. But at this moment, while I was, after tightening my shoes, which trying not to get a delayed game, as you saw, that thing was snapped at 3 seconds left. Because, 3 seconds left on the play clock. So as I'm tightening my shoes, I'm jogging out there. I see Antonio Brown back there returning, and I look over at Danny, and I go, what are you doing? And he's chomping his gum, just like, and and at the time, I didn't think oh, they're trying to get me right now. This is them trying to get me. This is Danny. This is Danny Smith, special teams coach for the Steelers, who I have a great relationship. This is him oh, let's get him. And this is Antonio Brown going out there yep, now's the time we get Pat. Now we get a big one. Because he almost broke one on me a couple years before that, and I tackled him. Okay, so Antonio Brown had not got one on me yet all the way back. So that was when he goes out there. I'm sitting there. I punt him. Obviously, he does what he does. He and I dance with 53 1/3 in the middle of the field. I didn't even touch him. Wouldn't even touched him in a tag football game. Nothing. I was on the ground. You see me diving. There's a video of it everywhere if you want to go see it. We can't run it because the NFL has shut us our entire show down. But then he gets in the end zone. He does the straddle of the goalpost. The goalpost. Puts him up 45-10 at that point, right? Pittsburgh, the stadium, which, by the way, is never emptied out, up 28 in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left, is like, Need to hit the tunnels. Need to get out of here. Going to be traffic crazy. That's how bad it was. A primetime game, too, in Pittsburgh. That place is like empty, scattered. Place goes bonkers, obviously. I'm laying on the middle of the field just thinking this is terrible. And then my next thought was, I'm going to kill Danny Smith for putting Antonio Brown back there. So I can see how the Padres manager could have potentially heard from the Texas Rangers manager who said, hey, why would you have the hottest guy in baseball do that to us in the heat of the moment? Because I am a guy who's very much a celebrate the hell out of things guy. And at that moment, all I want to do is go up to Danny Smith and kill him. And after the game, I go, you have Antonio Brown back there? Good game, Patty, or whatever. Good game, Patty. And then the next time we talked, I was like, he said, you ain't never going to get me. You ain't never going to get me. Before every game, that guy and I, because he's a Pittsburgh guy. So those from Pittsburgh understand what that means. So if you're not from Pittsburgh and you're listening to the show, I'm sorry you don't understand what that means. But what that means is probably incredibly sarcastic. Okay, you can good personality. Probably loves to have a great time. I've never had a great time. I would assume he loves to have a good time. But he's just classic Pittsburgh guy. Before every single game, I would go, you having your hands team on for kickoffs today or whatever, Danny? Because we were kicking a lot of onside kicks. And I was good at them. He was like, no, I ain't doing nothing for you. Like, that's everything. I'm like, you putting your hands team on there? He was like, oh, I ain't telling you nothing. I was like, you don't put the hands team out here. You and I are going to be trending on Twitter within the first 2 minutes. Of, shut up, Pat. And I just walk away. Like, he and I had that type of relationship, and we were good friends. But when he had Antonio Brown out there, best returner in the league at the time, with 4 minutes left up to 38, I'm like, this guy, he's also your number one threat on offense. So we are risking, okay? Let's not even think for me and what you just did to my numbers and my stats with guys that are dead tired in a game that at this point does not matter, and I potentially don't get a bonus for making a Pro Bowl now because you're that guy. Let's not talk about what if you hurt your guy? What if you hurt your guy? Mm-hmm. And he said, hey, if you don't want us dancing, stop us from scoring. That's real, though.